And now, ladies and gentlemen, we will move to the next session that will explore the role of sport in building more inclusive societies. Inspiring athletes and esteemed panelists will look actually into the contribution of sport to empower women and girls and challenge the stereotypes. To start the session, I'm pleased to welcome on stage a truly inspiring figure, an Olympian. She's a member of the Athlete Commission of the International Olympic Committee, member of the Egyptian Parliament, and a committed champion for peace. It's Aya Madani. Please welcome her. The stage is yours, Aya.
Thank you, Your Highnesses. Good morning. So today, I'm gonna speak about my story and how it started. I started sports since 2001, and I have been in the national team just a couple of years before. And then in 2002, I started the first world champion medal. And then 1 year later, I just have by coincidence, I qualified for the Olympic Games in Athens 2004, and I was only 14 years old. So this put me like a big responsibility. I don't know what should I do and how I gonna represent my country and my sport, and I'm still only like 14 years old. And I'm still, until now, the youngest athlete to participate in pentathlon and in Olympic Games. In 2005, they was told me that you need to speak about your obstacles. So one of the main obstacles that I faced was my school to study. In ثانوية عامة, the high school in Egypt, you have 2 years. So the first year I have 74%, but I was a world champion, I was Olympian. But at the end, my mother told me that you can be a champion and succeed in your study, but you can be a champion and you don't care about your study. So second year I choose to be the champion also in my study, and I have 94%, and I succeed to be in the top 10 in the college as well, and now I'm a teacher assistant in my college. Because most of the athletes they face and they have to choose between to study and to continue their study, or to choose to be a champion, and they neglect about their study and their career at the end. From 2006 until 2008, it was my peak, and I'm honored that Mr. Joel Bezou, he showed all my steps since I was very young until I became here now. So I aimed for an Olympic medal for Beijing 2008, but unfortunately, I didn't achieve it. Unless I was also ranked #1 worldwide, I didn't achieve it. I was facing in the riding, I didn't make anything. The horse wasn't really good quite enough. So I was planning to wear my hijab when I was on the podium, wearing the medal, wearing the hijab, but suddenly I didn't win. So it was a hard choice to wear the hijab, even if I didn't want the medal, but I chose to wear it and to continue sport and to be the first Olympian and first athlete to wear hijab in the next Olympic Games, which was in London. But in 2010, I faced the second obstacle. So it was a major obstacle that the FINA, they banned the full swimming suit. And then I didn't find anyone to speak to. I tried to reach a lot of athletes, representatives, a lot of people who represent us in the International Federation, and no one was listening to us. So I was damaged, totally damaged, mental health, I was damaged. And then I said, okay, 2 more years, play London 2012, and then I will quit, and that's it. And I did that, but it was from deep inside, this wasn't my goal. I used to be a competitive, and I used to win a lot of sport and a lot of titles. So I said, okay, I don't want sport anymore. I don't want to listen anything about sport. I got married, I have my son. And then I figured out when I have my son that what he will say about me when I will be older, that I quit. Then I start to rethink again. So maybe my goal in life and my mission is not to be an Olympian and have Olympic medal, but maybe is to represent the athletes and to send the voice to the leaders. So it's totally different mission. So in 2016, it was a turnover year. When I want to represent the athletes, I ran for the Athletes Commission election in Rio 2016 for the IOC, and I have been appointed by the president. And then I became the chair of my international federation, UIPM, chair for the Athletes Commission as well. And the more important, that I became a champion for peace. And during this journey as a champion for peace, I went to Zaatari camp for the Syrian girls and women coaches, and I teach them, and when they see that it's okay, wow, there's another woman that she plays sport and with the hijab, and she's not shy to do this. So now I figure out that I have another role, that I must be a role model for other girls and young girls to do sport and to continue. So they inspire me as well. So it was a win-win situation for each other. In 2018, I started to play again fencing, and only fencing, not pentathlon, just to show the young generation, that in our culture, when you are a mother, when you are a woman, and you get married, okay, stop sport or stop whatever you like. You must be dedicated only for your family. So I have the support of my family. I became the African champion in 2018 for fencing with the support of my family. So it's a turnover for the family and the generation, and everyone is telling me, Aya, you was a world champion, what do you want more? I told them, no, my mission is something totally different. To be a mother, to be a wife, and to play sport. In our culture, it's too hard. And then in 2021, I have been appointed by the President of Egypt, President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi, as a member in the House of Representatives in the Parliament. And 2022, I am honored to be the chair of the Athletes Commission in Islamic Solidarity as well for Sports Federation. So my only message is that never give up. You must have, even if the mission is not achieved, you must find another mission for the society. Thank you.
Thank you. Aya Madani, you are truly and true champion for peace. Thank you so much for your inspiring remarks, reminding us of the unmatched power of sport to create a more inclusive societies. Ladies and gentlemen, we will now hear from an emblematic figure for female sports in Saudi Arabia, Her Royal Highness Princess Rima bint Bandar bin Sultan Al Saud, Ambassador of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia to the United States and a member of the International Olympic Committee. She couldn't be with us today, but she was really keen to participate and contribute to this very important topic. Her message to all of you.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is in times of conflict that we must remind ourselves that peace is not something we can simply hope for. Peace is something that we must all commit to and inspire others to embrace. Because peace is not a destination. As we all know, it is a journey that needs constant and absolute nourishment. And we must remind ourselves of the powerful role that sports can play in achieving peace. It's why we're gathered here today. Because sports can have the power to inspire, and it has the power to bring people together in ways that nothing else can. Sports has the power to unite, to heal wounds, and to promote understanding and reconciliation. I believe that sports can create hope where once there was only despair. And today, here in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, we're witnessing the power of sports in bringing people, communities, and nations together. And that's something that's magical. And we're seeing the transformative impact sports can have in advancing gender equity and in empowering women and young girls. Isn't that the dream we all have? The policies, the programs, and the initiatives of Vision 2030 are playing an absolutely crucial role in addressing inequalities, in combating prejudices, and challenging gender stereotypes. Here, we have recognized the importance of creating an inclusive environment where women and girls have equal opportunities to participate and excel. And that takes time to build, but we're investing. And these policies are ensuring equal access to resources, facilities, and funding. They're breaking down the barriers that have traditionally hindered women's involvement in sports. and that investment must continue. We're creating a level playing field that enables women and girls to showcase their talents and pursue their athletic aspirations, just like they could anywhere in the world. These programs are making a significant impact. They're providing opportunities for skills and development, and mentorship and leadership, because that's the magical trio that sports gives us. They're creating safe and supportive spaces where women and girls can not only build confidence, but also develop resilience and create a better, brighter future for themselves and for others. And by empowering women and girls through sports, we are also empowering them in all aspects of their lives, enabling them to become leaders in sports and out of sports, and change makers in their communities. Because when women have equal opportunities in sports, they become role models, and they inspire other women to pursue even greater goals, goals they never thought they could have, but today they can. Sports also serves as a powerful tool for combating prejudices and for fostering social cohesion. We see it all around the world. When women and girls participate in sports, they challenge societal norms and they break down discriminatory attitudes. And we know that sports unites people from different backgrounds, fostering respect, understanding, and tolerance. And by promoting diversity and inclusivity, sports becomes a force for social change and a catalyst for building a more inclusive and peaceful society. Policies, programs, initiatives combined that promote gender equity and empower women and girls are instrumental in creating a fair and inclusive society. We believe that by addressing inequalities, by challenging stereotypes, and fostering social cohesion, the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia is unlocking the full potential of women and girls in the realm of sports and beyond. And so, let us continue to support and invest in these initiatives, because they're not just only about playing sports. They're not just about games and fun, but also transforming lives and shaping a more equitable and peaceful future for all. And I thank you to the Peace and Sports team for inviting me to join this distinguished group of jury members for the 2023 Peace and Sport Awards. It is my absolute honor, and I'm so sorry I couldn't be there with you today to celebrate. But again, I thank you for including me.
And we thank you, Your Royal Highness, for your engagement, a true role model for girls and women in Saudi Arabia and far beyond. And now, ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Lama Al Fuzan, a board member of the Saudi Athlete Committee, who will skillfully moderate our next panel discussion. Hello, Lama. Lama will navigate us and navigate a dialogue that will shed light on the path towards empowering women, girls, through the incredible medium of sports. And she'll do that with her esteemed panelists, Her Royal Highness Princess Dlayl bint Nahar Al Saud, advisor at the Saudi Olympic and Paralympic Committee. Welcome. And Asma Al Jasser, Vice President of the Saudi Cycling Federation and Director of Miss Skills. Hello, Asma. And Mr. Javier Malenfer, Director of Institutional and International Relations at the International Automobile Federation. Welcome, Mr. Javier. And Ms. Tegla Lorope, Champion for Peace and Chef de Mission of the Olympic Refugee Team. Hello, welcome. The mic to you, Lama.
Thank you so much. That was truly inspirational. Hello, everyone. My name is Lama Al Fuzan. I'm a fencer, and I'm part of the Athletes Committee. I'm really excited to be moderating a session about empowering females in sports. This is really a subject that's near and dear to my heart. And I'm really proud of all of the accomplishments that we have here in Saudi. We have more than 5,000 female athletes. We have trainers and referees and really females in the realm of sports. We have a vision that will propel the kingdom to new social and economical heights. And in the heart of that vision is empowering females. We have a national sports strategy where we have different projects, initiatives when it comes to federations and clubs. We have a minister who is an athlete himself, and he really puts athletes in the heart of the sports movement. Prince Abdulaziz bin Turki Al Faisal. That being said, we are also faced with a set of challenges, not just in Saudi, but globally, when it comes to creating safe spaces for females and talking about issues like mental health and safeguarding. So I really believe that sports has the power to empower females physically, mentally, and emotionally. And it can be used as a soft power for peace. That being said, I'm absolutely honored to be moderating a session with such an esteemed group of panelists. So I'll start with you, Princess Adlail. So the kingdom has really gone through an amazing transformation. I can testify to that, being one of the first female athletes in Saudi, which makes me feel very old. From your perspective and being a leader and leading in the Saudi Games, how do you see the role of females and taking more leadership roles in Saudi?
First of all, thank you for having me. Thank you for Peace and Sport being here. To answer your question, obviously it is super important. It's crucial to have female inclusion, whether leaders within the sports ecosystem or creating that platform for them within sports. The goal is to create equal opportunity for both boys and girls, females and males within the sports ecosystem. It does drive the initiatives in a different way when you have not only females, but also athletes like Amir Abdulaziz leading the sports sector.
Absolutely. It really is a historical moment. I'll move to you, Asma. So Asma, when we look at female cyclists and when we go to areas like Wadi Hanifa, I'm really amazed by the number of female cyclists and how we're increasing the clubs there. So you have created the first female cycling league. So what are the main challenges that you face and how do you address them and what are your objectives for the future?
Thank you, Lama. Thank you, everyone. First of all, Saudi Arabia have focused and supported women. This is by our visionary leadership. We can see that females are playing an active role in our nation and also in the Saudi Vision 2030, where we see focus on women's sports. And we see how this advanced in the past few years. We see many females athletes competing internationally and nationally and winning numerous awards. So going back to your question, the Cycling Federation has been established 1963, and 2022, October 14, history has been made, where we had the first Saudi female cycling league with 8 clubs around the kingdom. Of course, in the beginning, we thought that we listed the challenges that we had, which is number one, clubs not applying all the rules and regulations, females not being ready 100%, having safe roads, but we realized that everyone was ready. And all of these challenges have been, let's say, vanished with everyone's support. And of course, we see the support of His Excellency, Prince Abdulaziz Al Faisal, and His Royal Highness, Prince Fahd bin Jaloui. And with that being said, I'm proud to say that this year, 2023, the number of Saudi clubs have raised. Now we have 11. Last year, 8. This year, 11. And hopefully, we'll see more in the coming years.
Amazing. I love that. So, Xavier, you're the only male here in the panel. So you're kind of outnumbered today. When we talk about international institutes, they really set a standard for empowering females. And in your federation, you've appointed the first female CEO, Mrs. Nathalie Robian, in 2022. So I really want you to take us through that. And in 2009 also, you have created the Women in Motorsports Commission. So what are your objectives and how are you going to empower females in the future?
Yes, thank you, Lana, and hello, everybody. There is a paradox in motorsport because motorsport is a sport completely mixed and open boys and girls, they compete all together in the same competitions. But when you see the number of girls and women who do motorsport, there is just 7%.
Yes.
So the challenge, and that's why when Jean Todt has been elected president of the FIA in 29, he asked to Michel Mouton. Michel Mouton was a very famous, is still a very famous driver in rally, and asked her to create the Women in Motorsport Commission and program. And the objective was to demonstrate that at the highest level of the motorsport, we take in consideration this question, to show with this commission that women are welcome and can do motorsport, and not only drive, but they can be volunteers, they can be engineers. There is a lot of mission and action and jobs in motorsport, and they have their place. And also to develop programs to bring more young girls to motorsport, because the problem, and it was a question that I heard during different sessions, is the role model. And in motorsport, you don't have enough women who can have this role model to bring young girls to motorsport. So we have developed some program to bring them to motorsport. We have called that Girls on Track, and we work with a lot of national federation, like here in Saudi, with the Saudi Automobile and Motorcycle Federation with the Prince Khalid. We do a program during the Formula E E3 in Saudi Arabia, in Daraya, where a lot of young girls spend 2 days during the E3 on the event, and will meet all the people, boys, but also women who work in motorsport, to see that you can come. And they have a lot of workshop, demonstrations, they can do karting, and after the girl who want to join the federation are welcome and to start to play. It's a game.
I love that, and I really would love to see more girls behind the wheels, because I think that's really, really cool. So, Tagda, you have an amazing CV and track record. You're an Olympian. You're a 3-time world champion. You're one of the greatest long-distance runners in history. You're the first African woman to win in the New York Marathon. So I really want you to tell us more about how did you inspire girls in Kenya? And when families see you, do they really want to motivate their girls to pursue sports?
Thank you so much, my sister, and good morning, everybody. I want to say thanks to the government of Saudi and members of Olympic for putting this event together. Thanks to my brother Joel Busu for making all of us to be ambassadors for peace and sports. For me to be here today, it's also through sports. When you talk about how I came to be the best in the whole world, I come from a very humble background. I come close to Uganda, and community whereby we are known by fighting. You fight your neighbors, and it has been a place whereby nobody wanted to go to this area called Pokot, and that's where I come from. Our women were not allowed to do sports and education also, and I think that I realized that what's the difference between boys and girls? I had to fight because I was raised again among the boys. So I ran to school, and I wanted to be the best person. I wanted to make women to see that they can do something. I did not know that at one point I will be one of the best in the whole world. I had a lot of challenges, and all along, I was lucky that I was able to go to Germany, to train in Germany, and being this small girl come from the village, nobody was, my father was not happy, and the community, they say, a girl going away from family, she might not be a good answer. So I was lucky that I was supported by my mother and my late sister today. So when I win New York, my mission to go back home and support the girls. So sports opened the doors for me. It opened the doors for my family, and I was always running to have a good name so that I can come and negotiate about peace in our borders. But it became like it was a political issue whereby I was asked by other people that why don't you run in Europe and leave the problem that you have in your country. For me, I said, no way. I will never run away from problem, but I will go back to the community. I want to make use of sports. I want to make use of my name. Well, which it happened, I went back and support the sports, and I get support again from the government. The reason is that when the president of Uganda wanted to ask me to run for Uganda, and the president of Kenya said, no, I know, this community, we are neighbors, but Tekla must run for the country. So I was asked, but you will die poor because you refuse to run away from the country. But I said, I will die rich because I have support, or I will support more women, and also I will support the youths that they are carrying guns. So, but today I can say that when I supported the refugees, it opened the doors for many other people. It opened the doors that somebody called a refugee, they are not bad people, but the situations made them. And the women, I think it's very important that we can support our women and our brothers. You should support your daughters, because supporting a woman, that woman will bring a good leader in your family. She will advise your sons, and you will be proud to have a woman who is capable of doing something good in your country. And for my advice for people who have the name of sports, let's use our platform to talk really peace, to unite people, but let us not talk gross. This hand talks peace, tomorrow you go to a political. I united a political core in our country by using sports. Today, there is no door that they will close me out, because they know the meaning that I will bring to the country. And through sports can open more doors.
Thank you. Thank you so much. That was truly inspirational, and we're very honored to really have you here today with us. Princess Adlail, so going back to you, when it comes to issues like mental health and creating safe spaces for females, when it comes to safeguarding and really channeling any type of issues that they have, what are we doing in the kingdom to create those safe spaces?
So we all know that safe spaces, athletes safeguarding, is a global topic. In the kingdom, it is taken very seriously. It's at the forefront of our work in the Olympic Committee, in the whole sports sector. Daily, we are trying to ensure that there are the correct channels for all the athletes, and continuously we work to build the programs, the processes, the procedures, to ensure that safeguarding also always evolves and the right people are there to receive the athletes. It's super important to have that, because athletes need a safe space to compete. They need a safe space to train. You're an athlete, you know what it means to go in training, to go in competition. If the sports sector does not provide that safe space for you, then it is very difficult to concentrate. You lose your focus, you lose your momentum, and it is our job in the sports sector to make sure that each and every athlete is protected mentally, emotionally, psychologically, and physically.
Absolutely, and I think this is really a topic that we need to talk more about. I think mental health is super important, and especially for females, and I'm going to be biased. I think that when it comes to individual sports versus team sports, when you win, it's your victory, and when you lose, it's your loss. So digesting that mentally is super importance in having sports psychologists. So Esma, if there's a young Saudi girl who is listening to you now, what would be the message that you would share with her to follow your footsteps?
Okay, a hard question. So my daughter is 6 years old. She likes gymnastics and karate. Her brother wants her to go jiu-jitsu, and of course I want her to be a cyclist. As Prince Fahad said, dreams do come true when you have all of these options. So my message to all women in my country is, trust has been given to you. Leadership has been given to you. You have all the tools that are required to succeed. So just find your passion, set a goal, and run for it. Our country believes in you, so we have to believe in ourselves.
Xavier, so motorsports is one of the few sports that men and women can compete on equal terms. That being said, there is only 7% of females when it comes to licensed drivers globally. So what are you planning to do to increase that? And there's a program called Girls on Tracks. So can you really talk more about these type of educational programs and how are they empowering females today?
Yes, thank you. The actual team of the FIA and his president, Mohamed Ben Souyem, has proposed to develop and to double motorsport participation in the world. So we have two ways to do that, to bring motorsport in the country where there is no motorsport, and the second pillar is to bring more women in motorsport. Because when you have only 7, the capacity to growth is very important, and we know that more and more girls want to do motorsport. So we have to propose them a pathway, and we have to propose them also a good example. You have here in Saudi Arabia a very well-known driver, Asil Al-Hamad, and she is one of the ambassadors of the Women in Motorsport Commission. And in other countries, we have other this kind of driver who help us to address the message and to say to the girl, look, you are welcome. We have developed Girls on Track. I say a few words about that. It's at the bottom of the pyramid. We have another program named Rising Stars. That's the target is the elite, the best young girl in karting. We work with the Ferrari Driver Academy. We select them during the year, and after there is a session training camp with us and with the Ferrari Driver Academy. And the best one has a host. She's hosted by Ferrari during 1 year, and she will compete in Formula 4 in Italy. So it's a pathway who help to accelerate the parcours of the girl, because they don't have the same access to this kind of detection program than the boy in the private activity. What we see now, it's a good message, since we have launched a Women in Motorsport program, that we see that more and more teams detection program are developed around women participation. So perhaps the FIA will stay focused on the bottom of the pyramid, to not stay at 7%, but to have more and more people, because it's the only way to have at the top some women drivers. And that's the future of our program, is to develop a program like Girls on Track everywhere in the world, in Africa, in South America, in India or in China, to have more girls and to have at the end more champions in the future.
Amazing, and we hope that we see more females in the future. So Tagda, so I really want you to tell us more about the International Olympic Refugee Training Camp and how you've impacted the girls there. And we know that some of them have really exceeded in the fields of sports, and they became role models themselves, doing to other communities what you have done to them. So please share that story with us.
Well, thank you very much. How I came to be the matter of refugees is that when Sudan had problem they moved to Kenya, and the second community was our community. So every time I train, I go to Europe, I leave these kids. They don't go anywhere. So it was pain in my heart because I say, sports should be for everybody. And I tried to ask our federations, and they told me, these people, they don't have traveling documents. I didn't understand the law. I was supporting some of them to go to school. And at one point, because I was trained in Germany, so I knew Dr. Thomas Bach. I asked him, is it possible for the refugees to run for the Olympics? And then he told me, Degla, maybe when I become the president, and I will have opportunity to talk for the flight of the refugees. So I was praying, when are you going to be the president? But finally, God heard our prayers. He became the president. And he came to Kenya. First of all, he met me in Sochi. I was invited by Joy Pusu. By then, there was a massacre in Lamu where they killed so many people. And I was there. I supported like 28 children. The mothers were killed in the mosque. I did not understand how people can kill the innocent. And I asked, I need your support. I'm taking 28 kids to our community to go to school. And they will be, and then he asked me, Tegla, so you are talking about the refugee, and here you have the kids. I say, my heart will never allow these kids to suffer. So anyway, when he came to Kenya, he told me, Tegla, I want you to support the refugee. And then I told the Tegla Lorpe Peace Foundation, we are already in Kakuma, where they have the largest refugee camp. And we did a dialogue and sports. But I saw the resilience of these refugees, they are very good. So I had now to ask my government if they can allow me to take some few good athletes. And they told me, okay, because we trust you, Tegla, we give you a certain number, but you have to protect them. So anyway, we took this athlete to our training camp in Gom. And then some few months, the Dadaab, another, it's the Somali side, they say, Tegla, how comes that you are supporting one side? We need you to come there. But the government refused, they said, that place is dangerous. Finally, I said, you know what, I have to go. I went to Dadaab. It was almost like bad luck because our car was, the second car was kidnapped. But I didn't finish the process, but we selected few athletes. I took those athletes to our training camp. 2 months later, there was a massacre for the university. And then, here is Tegla supporting the refugees. And one of the person who was killed is my uncle, and I was paying the school fees. My family said, Tegla, you have the refugees. And they just killed our relatives. And the government also, nobody was happy about it. But the first people that I told my family, come and visit the camp. I asked, can you see the faces of these? Are they criminals? The first person who told me is that they are innocent kids. Continue support these athletes. Because we have already empowered the school in Kapenguria. I have like 700 kids from different communities, but I need, we give you the trust, and that's how I came to support the refugee. It was not an easy thing because many people, they see the refugee, they see criminals. So I was like a third mother that when you hear something wrong, you don't tell them. You just carry on your back. But when the refugee went to Rio, it opened many doors. It was like our school in Kapenguria, whereby when Prince Albert came to our community to support us with water, it opened many doors. The community were able to have water. Therefore, I think education and sports can unite many people. And when I was hearing about my sisters, how they came home and support their community, it went from community to the country. And therefore, our support cannot only go for women. We have to support our brothers so that we work together as a country. And you can be a role model for other countries. Please come and speak to our people in Kenya also. We are very good in long distance, but not all the communities. Women still have a very long way to go, but I want to encourage the women for this country because you have all the facilities. Do what is really important for sports. As when they sing the anthem for your country, the whole country comes together and they feel proud. The flag cannot show for a woman, but it's only can show for the whole nation, and therefore supporting women can support also our sons so that we can work together. So I want to say that for peace, let's talk about peace so that we do not have many refugees in our nations, so that those who are going to be refugees, they can go back home and rebuild their countries. And then you'll be proud to be that person who can host a refugee and educate them, send them home, let them build their country. So that is what I can say, that it was through sports that we are able to do what we have today.
I mean, that's truly inspirational, and we really need more females like you, and that really showcases the power of sports and how it can change females' lives. That being said, thank you all. This has been an amazing panel. I really believe in the power of sports, and I know that we really need to keep these conversations going. So thank you so much, and I'm an adamant believer that we will see more and more females in leadership positions in the future. Thank you all.
Thank you very much, Lama. Thank you to all of you. Merci beaucoup. Thank you, Tegla, for sharing precious testimonies of personal engagement and a concrete example of policies, programs, and initiatives using sport to advance gender equality.